Teresa, cemeteries, parks.
I wanted to talk about the timesheets. I came in last week to look at the green folder, the bills and the timesheets, and I noticed that we're not punching a time clock anymore, and it's just written on a piece of paper. And
I'm fixing the time clock, but does it work or does it not work?
Well, that's the thing, when we had Rob and Jack up there to have this discussion, shortly after I started, we went out and I showed them the time clock, and the time clock was an hour ahead. Actually, when they came.
Well, it probably needs to be reset.
It's ancient, it's part of the biggest problem is it's ancient. It's really like, you can't hardly read it, and walker.
So we have a new procedure in place, and who decided that? Should the board have voted on something like this if we're making a change?
And it's still a time sheet, I mean, it's still a time sheet, we're just not using the time card. We're not using the time clock because it's old, it's outdated, it's faded.
How much is a new time clock?
Oh, I have no idea. But, I mean,
So one of the reasons that I suggested that is because there are many instances where someone will come in early, maybe it's 10 minutes, whatever, and sometimes people work through their lunches. Well, what we weren't doing, and what nobody was doing, they weren't required to punch out for lunch and then punch back in.
Okay.
So they were losing time. This is a lot easier than, because we were also still having to fill out a separate piece of paper. So it was kind of correlating to redundant things. Why am I not? I'm responsible for when they get there and when they leave, you know? So
Well, who's responsible for you getting there?
I think you can find me there at 6:30 every morning.
Okay.
And
Well, I'm just, a time, when you're punching in and you're punching out, it protects us and it protects you. I feel like if we ever had to prove who was here when or what was, we have nothing other than it says 8. You worked 8 hours.
if you
My
want-
other thing is, I've been on this board for almost 8.5 years. We've always had timesheets and cards. They always punched the clock, and they always filled out their thing at the end of the day that said, and I'm not asking for every detail, it was, we mowed from 9 to noon, the park, or the cemetery, or we did plant checks and then we went and helped so-and-so with a water main break. The thing is, we have no records of where anybody is or what is getting done. So how do we know, not only us, but the entire town? How do they know what is happening and what is getting done? Who's tracking the overtime, the vacation, the sick hours? Who's tracking all of that?
I sign all of the guys' timesheets before I turn them into Jackie.
So it sounds like this was all your idea, I'm guessing?
I mean, yeah, simplicity is a great idea. And I will take credit for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like a time clock. I've always had to punch a time clock. If you went somewhere for lunch, you punched that out and then you punched back in after your lunch. If you had to work over, you didn't punch out, so everybody knew you were over. 'Cause at 3 o'clock, I should have been gone, I'm still on the clock. So obviously, I'm working over. So anywhere I've ever worked, or anybody I know has ever worked, they've had a time clock. Unless you were salary. I don't think salary has to punch a time clock necessarily.
Do you get calls at lunchtime to go
You have to
look
punch a
at,
time clock?
water leaks or potential water leaks? Or, I mean, these guys lose 10, 15 minutes like pretty consistently if something is going on. If there's a delivery that comes, everybody drops what, everybody's done with lunch and they go, take care of that. I think it's.
I just don't feel like, I don't know.
And
First of all,
let me say that it's you guys' decision.
Do you still fill out logs, like daily logs, kind of what you're doing?
not what's in that
No.
thing. All it says is 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. That's it.
Do Do you have them up there at all?
What?
I mean, a lot of times I think people
I can
just
count
put
for all
down.
the time that we spend. I mean, we go from one job to another. It's,
And why can't you take 5 minutes at the end of the day and say, you know, I had to run to Peoria to drop off samples. I had to go to the post office to mail them or pick them up. I just feel like there should be some accountability on what is getting done. Otherwise, like,
Yeah, we should
I
get them out.
feel like there's gonna have to
Do you
be
have a time clock or a swiper?
like a monthly
Yeah, mine is a badge.
report, so we,
Yeah, we did badge.
when somebody questions me about, well, did that get done? I don't know.
yes. I intend,
But-
I,
No, I'm gonna go to McDonald's. That's what I
No,
raised
you
my
can't.
hand.
You can wait for visitors, sorry. So there's something,
I mean, I've seen paper time cards and time clocks. I've filled out both over the course of my time in the workforce. I mean,
I will say,
I know.
being the clerk on the board years ago, Nate even filled out logs on everything they did each day, every
you
single.
know, and even if you don't
every
keep
single-
track, each.
okay,
We're not
I'm fine with
asking when you go to the
Okay.
bathroom.
No, no,
We're
I
not
get it.
asking when you,
But
no,
it's
stop
always-
at Kelly's to get a
Right.
pop. I'm not
Always been
asking for
tracked.
that.
So
Just at the end of the day, you.
I'm
worked on this.
totally okay with this, as long as I'm able to code this for people's salaries. What comes out, which fund it comes out of.
yeah, that's, I mean, that's,
There's time clocks.
Why would you be the one coding it? That would be,
I code all my invoices.
so
Our
so
salaries.
I guess what's your angle on that? Because,
My angle is, I think that we're fishing money out of different funds
he wants to represent the right department.
to pay people to do other things.
He wants to represent the right department.
To pay
okay,
We don't have payroll, so I mean, if he's the one, he would be killed two birds.
we don't have payroll?
Do we have a payroll person that does payroll?
Well, I hope we do. I'm sure they hope we do.
Does it- Well, no, I'm saying, somebody you can communicate with is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's,
Save her the trouble having to sort it out.
We can find,
so they asked
We
us
just
not
need to be accountable for the people that are working for us. And if somebody has a question, I want to be able to answer it, and I want to have proof. I want to be able to say, this is what we have.
something we can look into.
So I get that you want to have records of it. I feel like anytime I need to know something in my department, I just call Nick and ask him what's going on if I need an answer.
that's got nothing
So I
to do with
I
punching
get,
in.
no, I'm saying in regards to the day-to-day operations and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not talking
there's
about
a
the punching
difference in
in.
written proof and word of mouth.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking
There's
about
a
the punching
difference
in.
in written proof and word of mouth.
Sure.
Absolutely. So I just felt like this, when I was shocked when I seen that. I was like, Okay, why are we making changes and nobody's talking to anybody? We're just making changes without, you know, like I said, I've been doing this for 8.5 years, I'm not new. And there has to be some sort of accountability.
No, we can draw something up to make it so we can keep track of it.
Well, like I
She
said,
was
and I
all-
know
she was all
at
for it.
one point, people were having trouble getting their 40 hours, but now it seems like everyone's getting their 40 hours. I just want some accountability and I want proof if someone asks me.